What is up, everybody? We are live, and I'm a little bit thrown off here. Why is Paddy down the bottom? I feel a little bit off here, gents. There we go. Now we're back to normality. Yeah, we go by order of Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah,
fair.
So yes, we are live. You're all well. We'll be nice, Chris. We'll be nice. That is you, Chris, isn't it? Just
it is me. It is all 4 pixels of me, mate. Probably.
At least all them 4 pixels are in the same color today.
Exactly, mate. At least they're not flashing red, and they're also not absolutely. Well, they are tired. Actually, I'm still living off caffeine.
Caffeine. Don't underrate caffeine. Don't undervalue caffeine. Chris, is very important. I couldn't function without coffee.
It's been the only thing keeping me going. I haven't slept for the last 2 days trying to get this uni deadline done. It's been pain.
What's the oh no, there he is. Not the traffic light that is Chris Stonich. What's the uni topic?
It's a journal about my work placement, which I decided not to start until a week ago.
Oh, Chris's diary. I feel like there could be content in this. Hang on, Chris's diary.
It's really boring. It's really dull.
Very disappointed today. The spread wasn't great. The bottled water was subpar at best. The chicken was cold. I take it that's the kind of stuff we're talking about in your little. I mean, let's be honest, Chris. The grub at these. I know you've done a few little bits of media work. The grub's terrible, isn't it?
Oh, I disagree. Swansea City, best in the entire thing. Honestly, the curries there are incredible, but everywhere else I've been, it's been crap. Yeah.
Nice. Can't go wrong with a curry. Curry always works. Mr. Murphy, how are you? I know you've been really putting the hours in on the FIFA grind. How are things?
Yeah, I've already done more hours this month than I did last. So yeah, no, it's obviously a busy part of the FIFA year. So yeah, going well. Looking forward to Frankfurt winning later. So that's why I'm repping the Germans tonight.
Germans. I had a little look on Twitch earlier on, Paddy, and God, they were all out. They were all. Bateson was on. Everybody was on. There must be something big going on, is there? Because you had Bateson, Castro. They're all on their Goldbridge.
It's team of the season, which is like the biggest part of the FIFA calendar. So the hype is big. And good fun this time of year.
I can only imagine the revenue that's being generated right now at EA.
Oh yeah, it's a good month all around for everyone. I think I have certainly contributed to EA this month. That's for sure.
Nice. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to get through today. We're going to be talking about Sadio Mane and links to PSG for him. We're going to be talking about Joe Gomez's injury. We're going to be talking about Anthony from Ajax and a few other bits and pieces as well. But as is always the case, we do have to pay the bill. So just give me 1 minute and 9 seconds of your time, and then we're all yours for the next hour. 1 sec. This video is being brought to you with thanks to our friends at Surfshark. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to not only browse the internet entirely anonymously, but also very securely. Surfshark will secure your data with industry-leading measures using uncrackable encryption and the most secure VPN protocols. One subscription with Surfshark will work across all of your devices. I use it for unlocking things like American Netflix. We also use it if we want to watch our Canadian DAZN account and a couple of other bits and pieces. The good news is you can get 83% off. That's right, I did say 83% off. And an additional 3 months free using the Anfield Agenda link in the description. They've also got a really credible and unique 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like Surfshark, it doesn't meet your needs, which I'm going to be honest with you, it will and you won't. But if you do, if you want to change, Surfshark give you 30 days to change your mind. Why not give Surfshark a try? You'll be supporting us here at Anfield Agenda and you'll be treating yourself to the best VPN provider out there, bar none. Boom. Thank you very much for your time, my friends. Right, look, we've a lot to go through. First super chats in. Sometimes all I think about is you, Liverpool are winning the Champions League. I mean, I'll take that, up. I mean, I gather you're thinking about Liverpool winning the Champions League and not thinking about, me and my red panties. And yes, I do have red panties. They do exist. My wife does.
I think you was talking about my number one hit single. It goes a bit like, sometimes all I think about is you, Liverpool are winning the Champions League. So, yes. I made that last year. It didn't work, but this year it could have a lot of relevance.
Boom. Hopefully it does. I see Neil Atkinson from the Anfield Rap on Sky earlier on. He was doing a little bit, and I give him his credit. He was talking about no matter what happens, they're going to Anfield on Sunday to cheer the lads on. And at the end of the season, he said, we'll have 3 cups and you can do whatever you want. And I love it. Love the positivity from Mr. Atkinson. Damn right we will. Gents, loads to talk about, but let's start off with a little bit of good news. It's Joe Gomez. Good news. Looks like just swelling, Chris. Looks like he's not done any ligament damage to the ankle, which, we were all worried about. And the race starts, obviously, to try and have him fit for the Champions League final, but it's looking positive at this moment in time.
I feared the worst when he went down, to be honest with you. He obviously hasn't got a great record with his injuries. He's been severely unlucky with them. So obviously your mind's going to jump to the worst. And to hear the news this morning that he might be fit for the Champions League final, to be honest, I was optimistic that if he was able to get injured, this isn't really a bad time because there's only 2 games left of the season now. And they'd have the whole preseason to recover. So, but yeah, it'd be great news if he was back, and he's a great squad option for the Champions League final. If God forbid anyone did get injured on that day.
Speaking of the last day of the season, Paddy, and running in, the injuries are starting to pile up a bit for Aston Villa as well. I think Konsa's been certainly ruled out. And then, did you see the story, by the way, about the bonus payment for Grealish?
Yeah.
If City win the league, what do we think of Mika Richards? Not just spilling the beans on that, but kind of leaving it open to people to draw their own conclusions from how Villa might set up that last day of the season, because it does feel a bit weird.
Listen, it's a pre-existing thing. The weight of Gerrard wanting to win it for Liverpool will be bigger than Villa want. Like, Villa are rich. They don't need fit. That's nothing to them. They're irrelevant. And there's actually a lot of animosity towards Jack Grealish, and the sort of fans, like, they'd rather him not win the league than win it for the sake of a few quid. I've seen it on Twitter. Villa fans aren't too fussed about that at all. I think the perfect scenario would be Villa get smashed by Burnley tomorrow, and then it puts pressure on them, and then they have to go out and perform. I think for Liverpool's point of view, the selfish point of view, that's the best way. But I don't think it's going to be in anyone's at Villa's head. There'll be no. I know people might think maybe they're going to say to Gerrard, I don't think they need to let City win anyway. Do you know what I mean? I think City are well capable of just smashing them. So, but I think the weight of Gerrard wanting to win it for Liverpool will be bigger than the money.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. I just wonder, Chris, why Mika Richards felt the need to raise that topic. It's a very strange one.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. It's only a Mika Richards claim. There's literally no proof to it whatsoever. Like,
he'd know though.
Would he though? I often wonder, like, he might do. I often wonder about these things.
I'd say yeah.
We should probably explain, Chris, what we're talking about, because I'm sure everybody won't understand what we're discussing here. I think it was on TalkSport, Mika Richards, where he said, they were obviously talking about the final from what I can gather, or excuse me, the last day of the season from what I can gather, and he said something along the lines of, Aston Villa are in line to get a £15 million bonus if, obviously, Jack Grealish, who went there, if Manchester City win the league. And, that's kind of caused a little bit of... I don't know if it's uproar, Chris, but it's a silly comment to make.
Surely that would be under an NDA anyway, because that's such sensitive information. Like, they wouldn't want that coming out, and especially not out of the mouth of Mika Richards. I've seen that he's denied it. I've just gone through a few articles and they've been deleted. So maybe it's all blown over as just bullshit. But I don't know, mate. Honestly, if it's true, fair enough. Like, whatever happens, I still trust Steven Gerrard, and I trust Aston Villa to play to sporting integrity. It's not all about
absolutely.
That.
I mean, just Paddy, it'd be great if we could go and get the internet scrubbed for some of the shit we've said, wouldn't it? Just me and you be in a grand spot then.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. But now, listen, although Chris doesn't really care about the last couple of games because but I think we have a chance. I think there's no chance Villa win, but it's just script is too perfect. And I know it's like, oh yeah, City 1-0, but it's just the undertones and the subplots are too perfect to. I just think it could be the biggest story in the history of the league. If Liverpool come back and win on the final day to win the league, just that on its own would be big, but to possibly seal the quadruple as well, or mean we're 1 win away, it's meant to be. Come on, it's meant to be.
Oh, Paddy, I won't lie, mate. If I said that I haven't played this scenario out my head a few times, that sees us doing it and almost had a little laugh inside and I'll be lying. I'm absolutely praying for that miracle. I'm ready to be hurt, lads. I'm ready to be hurt last day of the season. I am.
I've just closed it all off. Closed all hopes of any Aston Villa result off. Just it because in the case it does happen, it'll be amazing. But I'm just going into it with the mindset that it's the last game of the season. It'd be great to win, get some momentum for the Champions League final.
Now, Connor has posted something into our Discord group, and I feel like we have to bring this up. And fair play, thank you, Connor. So it was the Aston Villa FC faithful on Twitter that posted a comment, and they've since retracted it, saying we'd like to apologise to Mika Richards and everybody involved. A quote which has been circulating on Twitter that we got involved with and posted. The quote was fabricated and is entirely not true. And Mika Richards quote tweeted that by saying thank you. So good. Well, we can put that one to bed. Grand. Glad that didn't happen. Headache over. We can just get back to dreaming now, Chris. So, Chris, tell me, how are we going to win the league on Sunday? Go on, describe it to me in glorious detail, Chris.
On the PlayStation, it's not going to happen, Craig. I've got absolutely no hope whatsoever. And maybe people say, "Oh, you're being negative." I'm not being negative about us. I think we've been amazing to get into this situation. But
like
I don't think they
none.
I have 0.1%. Like, there's a little thing in the back of my head, but I guarantee it'd be 2-0 Man City by 15 minutes. But it's just the sort of game they win, mate. It's just the sort of game they win.
Now, you're going to Anfield, yeah? Am I correct on that one? So, are you expecting the atmosphere at Anfield, much like Neil Atkinson said, to be just one of a celebratory atmosphere anyway, just because everybody should and will want to show their appreciation to the lads for, let's face it, it's been one amazing season all around. So, I hope that that's going to be the case. Certainly, I imagine it will be with yourself. But yeah, I don't think there'll be any negativity inside Anfield, do you, whatsoever in the last day?
No way. And as I said, it's not my well, if you want to call it negativity, my pessimism doesn't come in the form of Liverpool. Like, if it was for Liverpool to win a game to win the league, I'd be 100% behind it. But it's to do. We've got to hope with this Manchester City team messes up. I've been to final days where we've had nothing to play for, absolutely nothing. The last day on the 15-16 season, like, it was purely we were on the beach, and the atmosphere was amazing, and I'm sure it'll be a really great atmosphere as well. There'll be a not a guard of honor, a lap of honor. So it'll be great, and I'm sure, because there is still a chance, there will still be a little edge to it as well.
Yeah, I'm dreaming, Paddy. I am. You know, you look at it and you go, Coutinho, Ings, Gerrard, and I'm ready to be hurt, Paddy. I'm ready.
Chris says this City team, but they're fragile at the back right now. They're missing a lot of key personnel, and Villa have tricky forwards. Don't underestimate the occasion, because City could go trophyless for the first time in how long?
I don't know, but the Etihad can get nervy, Paddy. It can.
Yeah, City can go trophyless for the first time in a long time. Not to mention, I think it was 16-17 maybe or something. I don't know. Not to mention they bottled the Champions League, so it will be in their heads. We have to pray for Villa to park the bus for the first bit and just last 20 minutes. If you last 20 minutes, you never know. But City are the famed 15-minute merchants. They kind of get that early goal in the first 15. And I think once you see that, then we could be fucked. But let's not forget, it's only a draw we need. It's only a draw. If it was a win for Villa, it's going to be, it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. But a draw, stranger things have happened. I think Villa have it in them to get a draw against City, because Villa can score and City are conceding at the moment.
I honestly, Chris, I would go as far as to say I'm nearly convinced Villa will score anyway. I'm absolutely convinced Villa will score at least one. So, I don't know. I think I'm kind of airing with Paddy there. You know, a draw isn't the most unrealistic thing. Like, there's a couple of scenarios we could play out here. If what you've said and what can happen, they go 2-0 up in 15 minutes. We've seen it done before. Yeah, okay, I agree with you. Highly unlikely anything happens from there. But let's say they struggle and they get a breakthrough and they go 1-0 up. 1-0 up is a very difficult psychological position for that City team then, because what do? Do you try and push for a second? Do you constantly just move the ball around, try and play out time? because one mistake, one set piece, it's just one moment. Whilst there's still only one goal in that game, I think it's going to be nerve-wracking at the Etihad.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. I've just turned off any sort of like any other result in my head than just thinking, City will go and win. And I still think it's very much the most likely outcome. But as you said, and as you guys rightly point out, there is always a chance, and especially if they are in it in the last 15 minutes, maybe even only a goal in it. I'm sure the atmosphere at Anfield will be buoyant in response to that.
Yeah, the atmosphere at Anfield is going to be bouncing anyway, because the trebles, or a treble certainly, on possible quadruple on. I'd imagine it's going to be a lively evening. Right, I want to get to transfer talk for a second, gentlemen, because I said yesterday that I was worried that PSG might come in for Mohamed Salah if they lost Kylian Mbappe. Well, Christian Falk, who I'm starting to get sick of the sight of, to be honest with you, I won't lie, he just seems like a bad news bear at this moment in time. He said, true, if Sadio Mane will leave Liverpool, the big favourite for a transfer is PSG. The strong interest and high salary at PSG are the reason why he hesitates to sign a new contract at Liverpool. Now, first of all, bullshit. I'm saying that very clearly. The high salary at PSG will not be what would attract Sadio Mane there. I would very, very much call bullshit on that, because if there's one thing we know about Sadio Mane is he isn't a mercenary. He isn't. He will, of course, want a respectful wage. And, in a world, Chris, where right now, if you're to believe the wages that are reported that the players are earning, you see Mohamed Salah on 200k a week plus bonuses. You see Bobby Firmino on 180k a week plus bonuses. I don't know how we're living in a world, mate, where Sadio Mane is on 100 grand a week at Liverpool. So that does need to be addressed. But I just don't believe. I don't believe that he'll have his head turned by PSG. I just don't. What is there for Sadio to achieve there at PSG?
I mean, it's a club that is consistently attracting stars because of that money. But also, let's not forget Sadio Mane is from a French-speaking country, and Paris will be filled with a lot of his people.
He wants to play at Marseille, though, in France, Chris. You made that very clear previously.
Yeah, well, it's fine. I'm personally, I don't see it happening. That's why I'm trying to clutch at any sort of straw that might give this a little bit of credibility. But I just think, especially in the way that he's come into form over the last 3 to 4 months, Sadio Mane would be absolutely foolish to leave. But I also agree with him that he does deserve an increased wage, because against everything else, he's on a lot of money compared to you and I. But for example, if we had like the same sort of, I don't know how to word this, but if, like, say you were taking, we had the same contribution to the channel, and you were taking an astronomically higher wage than Paddy was, it wouldn't be fair. Like, it wouldn't be fair if you were contributing exactly the same. But and that's what Mane's doing. So I think that's.
I suppose the argument there is, though, you could say, is he contributing the same? What metric are we using to measure it, I suppose?
I suppose, yeah, and that's where the negotiators come in. But I think at this current moment he is.
It's it's a worrying situation, Paddy. And what makes it very, very frustrating for me to sit back and read all this crap is the only reason this stuff is even out there or doing the rounds is because we haven't completed our business and tied the lads down, and we've brought this uncertainty on ourselves, I would say.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, when it comes to Mane, PSG was the club I tipped. To be fair, I just think it's out of all the clubs out there, it just makes the most sense.
I could have sworn you said Bayern Munich, but
what?
I could have sworn you said Bayern Munich yesterday.
No, I said PSG.
The
Bayern Munich stuff only came out. I didn't mention that was someone like I said PSG ages ago. Remember, I said he would look good in the kit.
To be fair, he would. He would.
No, I said PSG. My PSG makes a lot of sense for Sadio Mane for the reasons Chris said. French-speaking country. There's a lot of Senegalese diaspora in Paris, especially, and France in general. I think he would tear up the league. Money. but I don't want him to leave. I think it's natural. His agents are going to be, for want of a better phrase, actually I'm going to find a better phrase, advertising him to other clubs. It's business. But I think he will want.
You
to
wanted
stay
to say whoring him out, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew the Irish in you wanted to say that.
Yeah, but yourself, I'm trying to be more PC, Paddy. But yeah, I think the club will just have pressure on them to give him a deal, and I think he will sign a new deal. He'll want to stay. He's loved with the club. He loves the club, so hopefully he stays. I now want to keep him massively. He's as important to Salah as Salah right now in terms of getting the deal done.
I know we talk about this every day, lads, and I love people's optimism because our Discord, God bless them and their optimism, and I love them for it, is all about both of the lads signing new deals. I wish I had that optimism at this point, but the way the football landscape is going now, I think there is a huge possibility of some big moves during this window, and I'm not as optimistic as others, Chris, that we get both of Sadio and Mo tied up to new deals. I just am, and I wish I was there, but if I'm being entirely honest, I'm not.
Do you envisage a world in which neither of them get done?
No, I think
You don't think one of them?
I think one of them will certainly get done. I think, look, if ever there was any time to figure out if there's any bad blood, and I can't think of a better phrase than bad blood, but any hostilities or any negativity between the two, we'll find out now. This is the time we'll find out, because one of them may want to say, I want to be the man, and then it's up to the other one to maybe accept a role. And I have always said that I feel Sadio Mane has every reason to be pissed off with his situation. And I just hope that doesn't come home to roost, because he's so important to us right now. He is, as Paddy said, in my mind as well, as important as Mo is.
Yeah. I genuinely, the delusion in me wants, and I'm going to use the word delusion, thinks that they'll both get done. Like I think I envisage this world of happy clappy Mo and Sadio skipping down with their new contracts. I just don't think it's going to happen. One maybe, but it's taking so long. It's taken so long and it's very against Liverpool to do things at the last minute. That makes me feel that there is a big stumbling block in both of their deals. Because surely they wouldn't have left it this long, boys. Surely not. If there wasn't something big in the way of it.
Like, we've seen some clear indications, as an example, that Oxlade-Chamberlain's going to be moving on. You know, he hasn't been in and around squads, and he's in a similar contractual situation, albeit he's nowhere near as important to the core of the team. While we're speaking about PSG, lads, did anybody see the numbers around the deal that Kylian Mbappe has apparently turned down? £100 million signing on bonus, £1 million per week, and goal bonuses and concessions on his image rights. It's been widely reported that's what he's turning down to go and play at Real Madrid.
That begs the question, what's he getting at Real Madrid?
I would imagine he's going to get fairly well paid, yeah. I would absolutely.
That much, though, surely.
But
well, the angle seems to be that he wants to be. He wants Ballon d'Ors. You know, he's always been honest about that, in fairness to him. And he thinks that he can be. He's always been fixated by Cristiano Ronaldo. Madrid have sold him this dream of, you will be our new Cristiano. You will be the centerpiece. You will be. You know, we'll usher in the new era of Galacticos around our fantastic new stadium, and you will have every opportunity to get yourself Ballon d'Ors and win European Cups. And you know, they it's very easy to see, Paddy, how they could sell him that dream, because in fairness, Madrid do have the pedigree.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, while what he's done to date has been like unbelievable in the Champions League and winning the World Cup, and
sorry, Paddy, one second. Your username's just missing an A in the middle, but we'll work on that.
Yeah, listen, while you know, I don't think he's taken too seriously until you move to the La Liga or a Premier League. Like, the Ligue 1 will forever be seen as a farmer's Mickey Mouse league, and with no real substance. Nobody cares if PSG win the Ligue 1 title. They don't care, and they never will care, and that will be reflected in the general opinion of Mbappe and his legacy. So as young as he is, he knows that he can, and that's why he's so desperate to move to Real. And he can easily be the new Ronaldo for Madrid. Now, listen, to ever reach Ronaldo's levels is, it's will he, won't he? Probably not, because Ronaldo was a freak of nature, the second best player of all time. But Madrid is the logical move for him. He'll excel there, and his stock will rise, and that's when the media get involved, and that's when it's propaganda, basically, Ballon d'Or propaganda. Your images go up a level when you move to a league like Real Madrid's league, and as I said, the Ligue 1 is not worth anything to Mbappe.
I tell you what, though, boys, it takes some set of balls to turn down like 100 million plus 250 million in wages over 5 years plus bonuses, so 350 million over 5 years plus bonuses and image rights. It takes some set of morals, cojones, whatever you want to turn that down. So yeah, fair play. If you want Real Madrid badly enough.
I suppose if speaking from our situation though, like Kylian Mbappe probably has got enough money to last him the rest of his life anyway. So maybe it's just no object.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but I mean, just
even so though, £1 million a week, like you literally do anything in the world with that.
Yeah, just for us mere mortals, man, hearing about that amount of money just sounds, and hearing somebody turning it down, it just fair play. Well, yeah. Here's one. So Ali said, Craig, I think both get done. Why would Klopp sign an extension? As his reassurances to both today. I will take your comments and I will raise you. Why hasn't anybody from Sadio Mane's camp poured any cold water over any of these links away then? At all? And there's been more and more of them.
The thing I wonder about is it's clear to see, and it's common knowledge that the second half of the season post AFCON Mohamed Salah hasn't been good. Can we agree? Enough. Hasn't been good enough. Has been far below his levels usual. Do you think Klopp has recognised that and Klopp has changed his own opinion? Or is Klopp still going to be, no, you must keep Mo at all cost? Or is Klopp thinking, we need to get someone new there, it's not working? I'd love to. I'm really intrigued at that. Obviously, he'd never publicly say it, but there could be an element where Klopp might be like to the club, you know what? If he doesn't want to sign, don't sign him. We'll find someone else because he's not performing. And it sounds very harsh, but you have to, at this high level, those decisions and cutthroat decisions can be made. I'd love to know if Klopp's ever discussed that with the club.
Yeah, it's look, I've got to be really honest, and I like to think I've always been honest on here, but I am at the point where I'm fucking sick to death of hearing about Mohamed Salah's contract. I'm sick of it. Honestly, it's been not just Mohamed Salah's contract, but there's been many situations where I feel like Mohamed Salah's persona, brand, national interests, whatever you want to call it, have contradicted the interests and the best interests of Liverpool and caused us headaches. And I can't lie and say it hasn't eroded some of my adulation and admiration for him. I can't lie.
It has a little bit. It's just because we all have envisaged over the last sort of 4 years this real great professional, amazing guy, and it has left a little bit of a little bit of taste in the mouth, to be honest. Like
I don't see how it couldn't.
It's more his performances that have left a bitter taste in my mouth. And people will.
We should be doing this.
Listen, if someone has if someone's not happy with how someone's playing, it doesn't mean you can just bring up their history. Oh, but you have to let them. You have to. We respect them. We'll always will respect them. It comes to a stage where, take away the name Mohamed Salah, get his stats out, and analyze the performances. Don't take his name away. Take his history away. It's at the stage now where you'd be questioning whether he actually deserves to start the Champions League final. Genuinely.
That sounds ludicrous, but
it's true.
I think we've accepted a huge drop in levels from him. And I think that, again, rightly, some people absolutely idolise Mohamed Salah and see no wrong in him, but I'm not somebody that panders to anybody in life, and I don't think he's pulling his weight right now. And I think his situation is more of a distraction than it could have, should have, and maybe would have been if it was dealt with quicker.
It's yeah. I personally, I think you have to take some element of history in it because, for example, if you're David and Gog, you don't have the same level of standing like the Mo Salah has, the foundation, because he's provided that over the last 4 years.
I mean, that's a fucking stretch, mate, to be pulling up David and Gog here. Like, you might as well pull out Paul Kaczewski.
Andrew Varnon coming in about, is he?
It's like, but you know what I mean? Like, Mo Salah's got a lot more credibility and a lot.
If you're
more...
Jay Spearing and you're walking in there and you're saying to John,
but when does that run out, though? That's what I'm wondering. I respect Salah forever and love he's a club, you know. But it comes to a stage where if he performs like this up till next January, when do you drop him? Because it's not been good enough. It's not been good enough, and people will moan and they'll cry and they'll be like, "Shut up, Paddy! You don't know when." But you're just being stubborn. I love Mohamed Salah as much as the next man, but I'm not just gonna. You can't just let a man stink up the place, and he has been stinking the last while. He scored what? 2 non-penalty goals in 21 games. That is absolutely an embarrassing output.
It is a drop-off. Whatever we say, whatever way we want to dress it up, whatever excuses we want to make, it's a huge drop-off at business end of the season. And without sounding too rude, I don't give a fuck about Egypt and the AFCON. I don't care they didn't qualify for the World Cup. I couldn't give a shite. Same way I couldn't give a shite if he wins the Golden Boot or if Son wins the Golden Boot. I care about what happens at Liverpool Football Club. And for Liverpool Football Club, the Mohamed Salah that we have been blessed and honoured to watch is not the same player in the second half of the season, heading into a huge, huge game again in the Champions League final. I don't think that's unreasonable for us to say. Because it's a fact, and the one thing we've always been given credit for on this channel is speaking our truth, what we feel, whether it goes against the grain, whether it goes against popular culture, whatever. This is how we feel, and I think every Liverpool fan right now has every right to be concerned around what's going on with Mohamed Salah and Brand Salah and the football club. Nobody's going to say he hasn't done numbers. Of course he has, but as Paddy said, how long do you let this drag on for? You know, is it January, February, August, September? At what point do we say, hang on, where's the Mohamed Salah that put up 15 assists and whatever many goals he scored this season? Because he's not there now.
I understand that. And I was part of the people who were saying this, the very, very same conversation about Sadio Mane at the start of this year. And a lot of people were saying, Chris, you know, you might be right in this situation, but there is still a player that is in there. Even though we couldn't see it, I personally couldn't see it. I thought he was finished. I could never have foreseen what's happened. And there is still a player in Mo Salah, and I don't think anyone's here is denying that. I just think we have to take everything into consideration still. When it gets to sort of a Hazard level where he's not scored for a year, maybe we'll think about that. But it's still got a lot of credibility.
Who wants to become the highest paid player in the history of our football club for the next 4 to 5 years?
I agree. I obviously I agree with you. Like, it's a massive stumbling point for his negotiation, but I still think the fans should still respect him in the foundations that he has provided over the last 5 years, personally.
Do you want me to throw a little grenade into the mix here, gentlemen, about something I'm sure you've probably seen it? Connor sent this on to me. A potential swap deal could be on the cards this summer, with Jared Bowen coming to Liverpool from West Ham and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain going the other way as part of the deal, and that's from the Mirror.
We must be giving them 60 million on top of it.
I tell you what, for West Ham, that wouldn't be a bad piece of business to bring in Chamberlain. I mean, losing Bowen would be huge for them, of course, but I'm not hating that there's more and more stuff coming up linking us with Jared Bowen, gents. I'm not hating it.
Well, what's Ox worth, though?
It has to be 12 to 15, I'd say, max, at this point with 1 year left.
Yeah.
That's probably it. And then
I think that'd be a good move for West Ham and Ox, I think, if he stays injury free. There's a player in there, we know that, and with a good run of games, that would change his whole demeanor. Yeah, I'm all aboard the Bowen train now. I really want to see Bowen. He's wooed me, so all aboard. And again, if he was called Jaredinho Boinho, he'd be also wanted a lot sooner and worth a lot more.
Now, my question is, gentlemen, why do we think we're seeing more and more stuff linked and leaked about Bowen? Or we haven't even spoken about Anthony yet today, who has been linked with Liverpool as well, because we don't need another wide forward. Unless ...
I would argue we do, to be honest.
Anyway, I think we need one anyway.
Yeah, I would argue we do.
Right side.
Obviously, dependent on, like, I got a lot of stick for saying this yesterday. I still firmly believe Minamino is not good enough to play a regular role for Liverpool, right?
But he's not. He's also not somebody who's regularly in the rotation of the squad. So I would say if we were to bring in Bowen, and let's say we had Bowen, this is going to sound ridiculous. If we had Bowen, Mane, Salah, Luis Diaz, who else we got as options up top? I'm fucking losing. Diogo Jota, Bobby Firmino. I mean, come on. There's no way.
Carvalho.
Well, I'm talking about the 6 forwards we'd have if we brought one lad in, and then Carvalho coming in, and then youngsters coming through.
Bear in mind that Firmino's role is like decreasing year on year, and I think the next season will be his last season with Liverpool, if he's still at the club. I don't know whether we can believe all of this Mane stuff. He might be gone. Same with Mo. So yeah, there's still plenty there, and Origi's going as well. So there's plenty going. I would argue we do need
it. Chris, is I don't think we see these links unless the club are genuinely planning for life without somebody.
Yeah,
because if we are to spend money in the summer, I think everybody would probably admit that up top isn't the area we need to strengthen in. If Mo and Sadio sign new deals, it would certainly be midfield and a potential backup right back or a competition for Trent at right back.
Mm. Yeah, well, there'll be lots, as you said earlier. There'll be lots of movement in the window. I'm so convinced by that, because I think a lot of people as well will see what we've done this season as there's the pinnacle, and then move on for a new challenge. Maybe that might be why these links for Mane are so prominent. Maybe the same with Mo, but I don't understand why.
I'm gonna be a prick. You have to keep one. Who are you keeping?
Who?
Mane, Mo. And why?
Mo, the reason being, I don't think we've got. I think if Mane wasn't in the team, we've still got Jota and Firmino in his role. Whereas if we sell Mo, we will have to go out and buy probably two right-sided players.
Yeah,
that would be the main reason, and of course the fact that Mo Salah has numerically contributed more over the last 5 years.
Mr. Murphy?
I'd say the same, but let me tell you, it's not by the margin it used to be by.
Oh no.
But I think we just more cover for Mane rather than we've no cover for Mo. So yeah, although in big games for Liverpool historically, Mane has always been better, I think, than Salah. The biggest games, by the way, the biggest. I don't believe Salah has one open play goal in a final for Liverpool ever.
I'm keeping
so
Mane.
I think historically in big games, Mane has always been better for us, which is, that's whatever. Salah's carried us in the little shit nights against the shit teams. Not always the shit teams, but it's a weird one. It really is a weird one. I love them both like family, but it would be just Salah for the reasons Chris stated, but it's not by the margins it used to be.
I go Mane, and the reason I go Mane is, I suppose, threefold. Firstly, I think we could move Sadio back out to the right, and he could do a job there, as could Harvey Elliott, as could somebody else who we brought in, and potentially then we could get somebody through the centre if we wanted to try and shake it up with someone through the centre. Also, I won't lie. The stuff over the last few years around Mohamed Salah has pissed me off massively. With regard, like, as I said, don't care about what goes on with Egypt. Couldn't give a shite. Don't mean to disrespect Egypt. I'm sure they couldn't give a shite about what goes on with the Irish national team. And I'd go as far as to say I'd be a lot more comfortable if Mohamed Salah stepped down from international football and retired and just concentrated on club football. Then I feel I'd probably edge it back. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of raising it. I'd kind of edge it back to Mo then, but I think it's a coin flip at the minute between which one is more important to us. Because you have the numbers
right now,
but that versatility of Mane, who can play anywhere across that front three, and has done. Whereas Mo seems to be, I don't know if it's his own want or Klopp's thinking, but he never really gets shifted off that right side. It's always there. If it's not working, then it's not working, but nothing really changes there. So for me, I'd probably edge Mane, but yeah, I probably would. But again, fine margins. I can understand. I wouldn't argue against anyone who picks Salah. I wouldn't. I could understand it. Like,
I don't think it's. Hopefully, it's a decision we don't have to. Well, we don't have to make it, but hopefully, it's a decision that Liverpool don't have to make. But I think it might be.
I think it might be as well. I do. I genuinely think it might be as well. Which brings me on to Anthony. There was a report today as well linking us with who was this from the Mirror, I think, as well, was it? Mirror Football said Liverpool rival Manchester United for a transfer of Ajax star Anthony, who's been labelled top class by Eric Ten Hag. Firstly, and I touched on this yesterday, how lazy is it for some managers who come into football clubs who just go and raid their old clubs? Like, that's one thing I give Klopp massive credit on. He's never gone back near Dortmund.
I think he would have if there was applicable players. I think he tried to get Götze. I know what you're saying. I think it's just smart, but like it's a bit harsh on the old club. But go with what you know. That he knows these players work well, and I think it's always natural that they're automatically linked as well. But I think it's smart. I think if there was more applicable players or Liverpool were in the position straight away when Klopp signed, we would have done the same thing. Like Liverpool were more of a tempting option.
Not a single scouser in sight, and still the fucking biggest. Isn't it amazing, Sam? Isn't it just brilliant? WFM, my man. And there won't ever be a single scouser in sight either, and we'll still be the biggest, buddy. So, woo! I love it. I love the little fucking twats,
mate.
I don't think they realize we don't care. Like Liverpool
don't give a shite. Exactly. We're here because there is nothing but there's great scouts content creators, brilliant. And, they have a great voice and a great platform and make great stuff. But we're the others, mate. We're the voice of the rest. And we're proud to be. I'm certainly proud to be. And I know the lads are as well. And again, great scouts, content creators doing great stuff. But we're the best of the rest.
How many scouts are in Liverpool's team? 2? You don't have a problem with foreigners then, you peanut brain fucks.
Anyway.
Well, thanks for dropping by, Sam.
What were we on about again? Oh, like
Anto.
The guy Jurgen has always said, actually, and then that just popped back into my head, that he would never go back to an old club or an old player. He made that an active decision on that when he came to Liverpool. So I sort of dislike it, really. Like, what I understand you have your preferred staff, but it's not for me. Like, surely if you're such a good manager, you can work without them.
Yeah, I know, mate. God, we should really go down and say decade of the rosary now for how fucking lucky we are. Fuck off! All you little Salah fanboys can fuck off as well, by the way, while we're on the subject of it. Whenever anyone has dared to question Mohamed Salah's performances or anything, it's always either we're fucking racist or we don't deserve him. Fuck you. We made him. The football club made him what he is today. And he is, to my opinion, is being disrespectful to the club by letting this shit drag out and leaking stuff to Fabrizio Romano on social media. And I will reiterate to all of you little fanboys, we care about the fucking club, not the individuals. The club that will be here long after Mohamed Salah or Sadio Mane or Jurgen Klopp or whoever moves on. So go worship at your own altars. This is our altar. I'm sick of them. I'm sick to death of them. All these little fucking no-mark gobshites that come on whenever somebody dares call their favourite little football player, say they've had a bad performance, we're racist, or we don't deserve them, or we're horrible. No, we have an opinion. Our opinion is based on the good of the entire club and not just the guy that you want to give a little cuddle to. That's the fact here. And if you don't like it, fuck off. Simple as. And I'm not going to bow down or fucking say differently to anyone. This is our platform that we've built by giving honest opinions. If you want to lick one player in particular's hole, then fuck off and wear your pajamas and your jersey and do it. But we're here for the club, the interest of the club. You know, it's a club you probably didn't fucking know of 5 years ago.
Mate, don't let them get down, mate.
Man, I'm done. I'm done with all this PC bollocks bullshit about not being able to say your actual feelings for what of offending some little fucking idiot over in nowhere McFuckerland. We should be able to say what we want to say. This is how we feel. If you want to lick a player's arse to the detriment of the club, then you're not a Liverpool fan, you're a Salah fan, and go be a Salah fan. But we're Liverpool fans. Fuck me, how do we not get this? Honestly, lads, I'm sick of them. I'm sick of having to worry about everything we say for want of a reaction from some little fucking idiot who hasn't got a clue. I've forgotten more about the game than most of you will ever fucking know. And I have to listen to your stupid fucking opinions about us having the balls to say Mohamed Salah hasn't been good. He hasn't been good. It's a fucking fact. It's a fact. He hasn't been good enough.
True.
But
mate, there's a lot of.
I know I'm going about that in the wrong way, but I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the PC woke bullshit nonsense that we have to spout just because people have their little fanboys and heaven forbid your feelings got hurt for a second. Fuck off, honestly. Just fuck off.
Don't forget, mate. There's 800 people in here who agree with you, so don't worry about that.
And it's every day, every fucking comment. And I know you've seen it as well, Paddy, where, you know, if you criticize Messi, all the Messi fanboys come at you. If you criticize Ronaldo, all the fanboys come at you. This is not the Salah agenda or the Mane agenda. It's the fucking Anfield agenda because we care about the collective and not the individual. Simple as.
Yeah,
I don't
people
get
who support players ahead of the club, they're not fans. I never agree with that. If we were critiquing someone who didn't deserve to be critiqued because we were wrong, then fair enough. But as we said, we're not always right, but we're not just going after a player for this. Salah's the king. He's the king. He's the Egyptian king. We worship him. We adore him. But even he is infallible. And everything Craig says is spot on. Yeah.
Look, I'm honestly, I've bit my tongue on so many streams where I've looked at comments and stuff, and I've had enough of them. I've had enough of it all, honestly. Like it's disturbing to me that every time now on social media you say anything, you're offending somebody or hurting somebody's feelings about. Like, why don't we deserve Mohamed Salah? Give us an honest. Why don't we deserve him? Why? Let's chat this out. Why don't we deserve Mohamed Salah? Because we dare critique him.
I think Mo Salah himself would want to be critiqued.
That's why they say it.
Mo Salah himself's a perfectionist. He will want people to be like this. He's like it to himself. So I don't really quite understand the rationale behind it. But yeah, some people are just muppets. So not worth giving them the light of day, mate. Honestly.
No, it's more the case of, let's say we do go with Mo and let's say he stinks up the Champions League final. Let's say he does. Let's play hypotheticals here. Are we allowed to come on then and say that he hasn't performed, or do we not deserve him? If Mane is a stinker and I come on and say Mane was shit, or Paddy comes on and says Mane was shit, do we not deserve him? This is a two-way street. It's not all you come, get paid really well, get idolized by the fans, and there's never any negativity on it. That's not how supporting sport works. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it leads into me feeling like, for the first time in a long time, people are trying to make one player bigger than our football club. And that hurts. That hurts me as a Liverpool fan because we've seen greats come and go, and we'll see more greats come and go, and they'll always come and go. But the one constant, the one thing that doesn't change is the football club, the history, the tradition, the prestige, the supporters around the world, the adulation, the emotion doesn't change.
Yeah, exactly. No one's bigger than the club. No one ever bigger than the club. The club will be here longer, much longer than all of us and everyone. It'll transcend it all. So when someone is not performing, it has to be talked about, and that doesn't mean you hate. People need to get over that. Especially on a fan channel like this, we're here to give our opinions. We're here to talk about it because we have time to fill.
You were called racist the other day, mate. Racist. And never once uttered a single racist word out of your mouth or anything even close to a racist comment. This is what they deem is acceptable to throw at us. Our reputations, our years of hard work, our in-depth viewing and reading and consuming of all the information we can to try and make the show as entertaining as we can and as honest as we can. And it's okay for people just to come on and go, you're racist, you hate fucking him because he's Muslim, or it's because Ramadan. It's always something that's aimed at us to try and bring us down because we've given an opinion. And usually a balanced opinion.
Yeah, it's embarrassing that people go to those depths over a football opinion, which is never the case. Don't get me wrong, there probably is people out there that hate certain players because of that and because they actually are racist. But people can say that there's no truth in it, there's no substance to it. It's embarrassing and it's childish, but unfortunately, you will have those sort of people in society you have to just ignore.
Yeah.
Up the Frankfurt.
We'll move on for the last few minutes.
Yeah, Viva Frankfurt. Come on, Frankfurt.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing that watch along, by the way, in 7:15 on Twitch, if anybody wants to come over. I feel like this is going to be... Yeah, I feel like this is going to come back to haunt me today, but I honestly don't care. I'm happy to say what I feel right now because I'm sick of bottling it up. I'm sick of being frustrated at night time reading these things. I'm sick of us being made to feel like we continuously need to apologize for stuff when we're being honest. We're being honest about how we feel. And right now, I'm extremely concerned that we're going to lose one of the two lads. I'm extremely concerned that their heads are being turned, and I'm focused entirely on wanting us to lift that Champions League trophy next week. So on that, Fabinho, Salah, Van Dijk. Do you think there's any need or chance for them to play, not Fabinho maybe, on Sunday?
We must go full strength on Sunday. Must go full strength. We're in contention for the Premier League bloody title. Whatever anyone thinks what's going to happen at the Etihad, Liverpool, it's not a gimme. We must win the game. Can you imagine we don't and City do draw? So I think we have to go as full strength as physically possible. There's enough time between now and the Champions League final to rest. So yeah, must go full strength. Where
I'd love to see Harvey Elliott play though. That'd be my one thing. I think you need to reward good performances, and he was fantastic yesterday. That would be my only thing. Apart from that, go as full strength as possible. Maybe give Salah half an hour, give Thiago an hour or something like that. But yeah, I'd love to see Elliott feature at least.
I think I'm done. I think I'm sick of this. I think I'm done with it all. All this Twitter shit, YouTube shit. Honestly, I'm fed up of it. It's not fun anymore. It's not. It's fucking, yeah. I think I'm done with this. Yeah, I'm going to leave you lads
to win. You're not done. Don't be silly. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll obviously sort that out. I'm sure Craig's just a bit upset over those comments, naturally, but everyone is entitled to be upset, and it's not easy being on the face of something like this all the time. We subjected to a lot of shit, so hopefully Craig will be all right, which I'm sure he will. As he said, he will be on Twitch hopefully in 50 minutes for the Europa League watch along. But yeah, on that, Chris, I think full strength for sure as well when you can. I think some rotation, but we have to win the game, and it's not a gimme. It's not a gimme.
Yeah, it is. It's not a game, of course it's not. But I think he's got last day of the season vibes. I'm fully on the board of rewarding good performances, and I think personally, and I'm just a massive Harvey fan anyway. I love him to play.
Yeah.
I think next season he'll have a magnificent role.
Why haven't we seen more of him?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I've not heard. It must have been something to do either with disciplinary or something to do with his injury being a little bit worse than first feared and stuff. But yeah, I think we better off wrapping it up, mate. To be honest.
Yeah. Well, listen, folks. Thank you all for tuning in to today's show. Hopefully, Craig will be on Twitch now in 50 minutes. If not, we will be live again tomorrow with another show. And up the Eintracht Frankfurt, up the Reds, and have a good show. Have a good night. Have a good evening. Take care. God bless.